All right, here we go. Hello.
Hi.
Hello,
Hello.
everyone. I want to welcome everyone to Recovery Uncovered and with Danya and Bea. Today we have the wonderful Mr. Roy Reina.
Hey,
Um,
Roy.
How's it
yeah,
going?
so I have an honor and a privilege to work with you um, every day. You're not only my coworker, but you're like a brother to me. So, Roy, talk to me, man. So tell me a little bit about what you do here at Rise Recovery.
Well, I've worked for Rise for 4 years, and I spent the majority of that time working with the older group and young adults. And I think I did that for probably about 3 years, roughly. And then they switched it up and they asked me to come work with the youth. I worked with youth for about a year, and I also work with the schools. I'm the school program coordinator. So anytime that we're in a school and we're talking to kids, I kind of coordinate all of those things. And recently, I got promoted to the youth program coordinator. So
Yes.
it's all over the place with Rise.
Yeah, that's right. You've been with Rice for a while, right? So tell us, Roy, I guess, I don't know, and tell us about how your journey on how you and I guess your not only your journey your recovery process, but too on how that kind of enmeshed, right, with Rise.
Yeah.
Okay, so my sobriety date is May 9th of 2015. Um, I'm 35 years old, so all of my 30s I've been in recovery, and I started using when I was pretty young, and just kind of like the process, right? Like you start here and you start using this, and then start moving along, and eventually, life became unmanageable for me. It got out of control, got kind of crazy, and I've heard of Rise Recovery before. I came back here probably when I was like 25, and when I was about 29 years old, I decided to stop in to talk to them to see how this program could help me, right? Because I came through before and I kind of half measured it. I didn't really do anything. I probably showed up for maybe like 8 times, and I was like, this program doesn't work. So when I came in, I asked them how it worked. They said, come to meetings, go on activities, get a sponsor, work the steps. And I told the guy who was telling me that he was stupid and that this program doesn't work. And I told him, I said, if it's that simple, why isn't everybody doing it, right? So I showed up at Rise for about a year, and after about a year, um, and after a meeting one day, about a year in, I got arrested in the parking lot. And
Of
that
Rice?
day, huh?
Of Rice?
Across the street, we went to coffee afterwards. They talked me into going to the Jalisco across the street, and I made it there, but I passed out in my car, and someone called the cops on me, which turned out to be a good thing because that was like what pushed me to like, okay, I need some help, right? And so I came
Yeah.
in to talk to them, and they got me set up with the treatment center, and off I went for 6 months. I think I was there for about 6 months, and when I got out of treatment, I came back, and Rise was there. They helped get me into sober living. I got into a sober living house. I lived there for several years. About a year into my recovery, I was offered a job with Rise,
Hmm.
and I was in the process of finishing up a 5-year plumbers and pipe fitter school. And as soon as I finished that, I immediately was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And I put that down and came over to Rise and started working for Rise, and that was 4 years ago.
Wow, 4 years, huh? Since you've been there. That's beautiful. And that's how long too you've been sober as well, right?
About a little
About
over
five,
5 years.
5 years. Oh, awesome, awesome. So
Right.
tell me a little something, Roy. Like, what's one thing, like I guess that you would tell like someone newly coming in, right, into recovery? Like, what's one key thing I guess that gave you not only like hope and strength, but the ability to keep going?
Man, there's so many things that I would tell somebody new into sobriety, right? Um, when I look at like what stands out to me is I had to set all of my old friends down, right? I had to leave that, and I had to get started making new friends in recovery. I didn't really know what that looked like. And the one thing that really helped me out was getting involved in recovery related activities, events, things like that. Because when I came into sobriety, like I knew like I couldn't go back and hang out with any of my old friends, right? Because I didn't have any friends that were sober. And it was scary because it was like, how am I going to make new friends? I don't know anybody. But I started going to these activities and these events and getting involved in my sober living house and the sober living community in San Antonio. And I saw like everybody like interacting and having a good time. And I wanted to be a part of that. And I didn't really know how. And it was the one thing they say at the end of the meetings, right? Like keep coming back. And eventually I started to make friends, and that's what really pulled me into recovery, is those new friends that I made.
It's a new friends with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
most
important
definitely.
for recovery.
Most definitely, man. And that's kind of like been our not only like our talking point, but kind of like a theme, right? It's about
Yeah.
making these new connections, right? With other people who are also too journeying in on that on this recovery, because it's a journey, right? And
Yeah.
through this process,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you mentioned, being an in school recovery program coordinator, and how I think about, right, how you know how our youth, right, how they come in and how difficult it is, you know what I'm saying, through this process, and getting them connected, right, with other adolescents and people their age, right, who are also too wanting to not only do something different, right, but learn how to live through this
Right.
and substance use and addiction. What would you what is one thing that you did, right, that was different, or something that could kind of give them some support, right, in wanting to continue on this journey?
Um, Really, I mean, it really just comes back to getting connected, like any way that you can. For me, it was getting uncomfortable and like introducing myself to people and like making connections with others that are in the program. Because man, I didn't get addicted to drugs overnight, right? And so like coming into this thinking that like, oh, okay, like everything's just going to be good now that I'm sober, it's not going to happen that way. So it's about like, just being uncomfortable and getting comfortable with that. And just being like, you know what, like this is going to be weird, this is going to be awkward, but just like anything you do for the first time, it's going to be a little weird and awkward. But if you stay with it and you keep showing up, and it gets better.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about right now, Roy, because I know like everyone or anyone I guess that knows you, right, is like you love baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love baseball, and you love going fishing. You know,
Yep.
uh, so finding maybe as well, right? Getting back to things that maybe that you love or you like, and even trying out, right, new things, right, to figure it out, right? Because I know for me, it's like I didn't know exactly what it is that I loved, or that kind of touched my heart and passion, right? And I see you, and it's like you have this thing, and it's something that always that makes you smile, and it's kind of like a go-to for you. So tell me a little bit about baseball for you.
Yeah, it's baseball is real big for me. I coach a 30 and up men's league, and I also play on the team that I coach. So it's unity at its best right there. We have a great team. Everybody gets along. We have fun together. It was kind of like one of those things where when I got sober, it was like, what am I going to do now, right? So, okay, I'm connected in the recovery community. I do a lot of recovery stuff, right? I'm putting in all the work to stay sober. Like, what about the fun side of it, right? Because what do you do when you get sober? How do you have fun? Everything before is related to using and doing drugs. So now you're sober and you're like, what do I like to do? And that's like the hardest question to answer for somebody who's brand new into sobriety. For me, it was thinking about things I used to like to do before I started using drugs. So as a kid, I played baseball. As a kid, I went fishing and I did a lot of these things. But also, it's about trying new things, right? And I always relate things to like what you did in your addiction. You need to do the same thing in a positive way in your recovery, right? Like, so I was always trying new drugs in my addiction. Like, I got to try new fun, sober activities in my recovery, right?
Yeah,
And
bro.
I got to go just as hard for that as I did for the other. And that right there is like what really kind of like gave me something. It's like an out for me, right? Whenever I'm fishing or playing baseball, it's like that's my time where I don't have to like think about all my responsibilities or, you know, be focused on anything other than what's right in front of me.
What's right in front of you. Most definitely, man.
That's awesome.
Dang, Roy. I could probably sit here and probably ask you 100 million and one more questions. I definitely know that we're gonna have you back again.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I don't know as a sign off that you would like to say? Or
Yeah, I guess if, you know, it's always about helping the newcomer, right? And so like, you can't say that you don't like pizza if you've never had a slice of pizza. So, you know, you got to give recovery a try. If you've never tried it, you can't say it don't work or you don't like it, right? So, you know,
that's too true.
that's what I would have to say right there.
Word, man, word. So give it a try. You
Give
know.
it a try.
All right. Well, thank you so much, brother, for
you.
sharing your story with us. I appreciate it. Dawnya?
Yes, Rise Recovery's mission is to help teens, young adults, and families overcome the effects of drug and alcohol and partner with community and education and prevention. We also serve the greater San Antonio area, ages 12 to 35, and their family members, and it does not cost anything thanks to the financial support we get from our community. If you would like to speak with us, please call us at 210-227-2634 or email us at info@riserecovery.org. And if you just want to learn about us, go to www.riserecovery.org. We ask that you please share this webcast with anyone that you know that is seeking or struggling with substance use. And thank you for watching today. See y'all next week.
See you next week.
See ya.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, Roy.
Bye. Love you guys.
Love you too.